Up with the quickness, hook office Honglu. We start off with a usual lineup of LCB Mersault and Zweissinclair for 20% extra damage reduction, alongside of the healing duo of LCB Gregor and Chef Ryoshu. And I heard there's a lot of people who don't actually think Hook Honglu is that strong. So here I was trying to get a run going just to showcase how good he can be. And I want to start off by saying, this run was supposed to be a reset. It was purely there just to see how strong it actually is for myself. And you'll soon see why I'm saying that. Our first event was White Gossipium. And I decided to ball with it. Yup, I just seen White Gossipium, realized, yeah, sure, I do bleed. And take it. Now, was it a good choice for this run? No, it's horrible, don't pick that gift. But, if anything, it just shows how cracked this identity can get. Now that I explained myself with that questionable gift selection, let's actually talk about Hook Lu himself. As I mentioned, he's a bleed unit, and his sin affinities are really strong when looking at bleed-related eco-gifts as well. His skill 1, Track, is a 2-coin pierce wrath attack. It inflicts low amount of bleed and bleed count and gains extra final power if you have haste. His skill 2 is Going First. It is a 3-coin pierce lust attack. On use, it gives us 2 haste next turn, making sure that skill 1 will have that increased final power. It also applies some minor bleed amount, as well as up to 4 bleed count as long as we outspeed the enemy. Additionally, if we have 6 or more speed, our coin power increases by 1. As for skill 3, we go for a Rampage. It is a 4-coin pierce pride attack that deals more damage the lower the health of targeted enemy. It heals some sanity based on the bleed on enemy, which can be nice, but usually doesn't end up doing that much. Similarly to his skill 2, he gained coin power here if his speed is 6 or higher. His evade is quickness, and let's be quick about it. Higher evade rolls if enemy is heavily bleeding, and it gives us up to 3 haste in a turn. For his passive, Project Moon made sure I don't go too crazy with his solo, as it can give us up to 1 attack power per turn for killing bleeding enemies. Okay, that was way longer than usual, so let's recap important things from previous floors. And let's talk about general strategy, and trust me, the actual strategy is rather simple. Floor 1 we ended on Think Tank Human Fight that gave us really important little and to be naughty plushie. And first shop gave us Coffee and Cranes alongside Bloody Gadget, which set up this run for success right off the get-go. Suddenly we got 20% damage reduction, all ego resources we could ever ask for, and 30% permanent damage buff. And that was before we got even more from support passives, which were LCB Dawn and Rhodia for another 30% damage reduction, alongside the good old reliable G Corbotis. Floor 2 was mostly uneventful, till the boss node, which required some tricky usage of Rosetate Desire of all things. But after a couple of restarts for proper targeting, we managed to get through it with an unimpressive disc fragment. But with Floor 3, we grabbed onto Rabbit Heathcliff for even more pierce damage, as well as LCB Ishmael and Regret Faust for more clash power. And with that, we move forward. This floor was charge based, as we not only got Employee Core from the first Pekatula fight, which at least now we have a way to generate charge. Second Pekatula fight rewarded us with Dreaming Electric Sheep, which will never really work for us in any way. And since it's been a really quick floor, we reach the boss after grabbing CV to our name, making employee card have actual use. And for a boss we have a treat, proceeding Inquisitors. Or everything thereof and Inquisitor, whichever name you like more. This is where I can just tell you about our very important strategy for pretty much every fight. You want to go first with your skill 2, and it's really fitting given its name. As long as we use it every turn at least once, we're pretty much guaranteed for extra coin power on all of our skills to be maxed out. And it's not like the skill is just a setup, this thing removes health like crazy, making our damage potential incredible with no downtime at all. Obviously, we use Roseate Desire to remove that pesky weakness to Lust, replacing it with really handy resistance to it instead. Sporadically, we do need to use Dimension Shredder here and there for extra damage, and clashing when our skill 2 and 3 is not enough. All in all, Inquisitor's battles, regardless of the type, are pretty much only difficult on their first few turns. And with that, Inquisition is no more, we get Crown of Roses as a reward, and since we can't really use neither Thunder Branch nor Melted Spring reliably, I go for Phantom Pain for damage increase on our already heavy hitting skills. Floor 4 goes by extremely fast, as we don't really fight there and move our way through bunch of event nodes. We arm ourselves with Sand Shower by petting the fox, and manage to grab a special contract for ourselves. With that we sweep through some old G-Corp employees that also give us 5% chance homeward, and right before the boss we tell the truth for Barbed Snare. The game challenges us with everyone's favorite, so that no one will cry. This fight can be brutal, and since Hook on Glue is fatal to blunt, it took many restarts. I had to rely to deal some damage with Dimension Shredder, while making sure I always switch back my resistances to Lust with Roseate Desire. It doesn't sound bad, till you realize that this Talisman doll can reliably outroll our ego. And if we get caught lacking on our last resistance department, we're pretty much dead. Yet we have extremely high damage output, and with Talisman defeated, we can move forward with my beloved Greycoat as the reward. And since Floor 5 shop had nothing interesting to offer at all, I saved up some cost for the one right before the boss. As we go through Floor 5, we will grab assortment of really strong eco gifts, such as Scarlet Moths, Skeletal Cramps paired with Midwinter's Nightmare. But we won't have many fights, so I'll use this final line before the finish to say thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and most importantly, I hope that you enjoy.
야, 오랜만에 발 뻗고 눕네요. 계속 이대로 돈 모아서 더 좋은 장비를 달아야겠어요.